This week on Face Off Hockey Show, we're 1 week closer to the inevitable death of Google Hangouts and the inevitable craziness that is this show already. We'll talk about draft stuff, free agency stuff, trade stuff, all the stuffs, Hall of Fame stuffs, and more. It's Face Off Hockey Show right now.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Choose your command. You have chosen
the Face Off Hockey Show.
I mean, hockey is my life. I've got on hockey underwear right now.
The Face Off Hockey Show. With Scotty Waz. Sean O.
A breakaway.
And the P-Boys, Johnny and Mark with the C.
Yeah, baby.
You believe it not? Oh, yes!
Here's your host for the Face Off Hockey Show, Scotty Waz.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Face Off Hockey Show. We'll get off the hop and say, we didn't do a draft show.
Take that, draft.
There's two things. One, by the time we got started on the East Coast, to be way too damn late.
Plus, I was already out drinking.
Secondly, I wanted to enjoy Vancouver. It was a lovely place.
Plus, I was already out. No.
Yeah.
I think the U.S. team played that night, so I had already gone out to a bar anyway.
That sounds right. So
Sean
that's why we
P.
did
Leahy looked like he made it to Vancouver Whitecaps game, though.
Yes, he did. He and there's a lot of people that went to the Whitecaps game that was media.
It's different.
So yeah,
when we were in Dallas, it was just me and him. Or
so
no,
it was
Chicago. Sorry,
was it Chicago?
it was Chicago. We went to the Fire game.
Yeah, there wasn't a Dallas game.
No.
The Burn FC or whatever they're called now didn't have anything.
The Dallas Burn seems like it's probably like named after some kind of like peeing incident or something. Like it burns when they pee, maybe, or something like that.
That sounds right.
Maybe that's why they had to change the name. I get it, Google. Hang up is going away.
And by all the media, I mean Sean Leahy, Brad Schlossman, the Grand Forks Herald, and Alex Heinert of Midco SN. Those are the only three people that.
Well, that sounds about right. That's about the crowd I was thinking.
So
like three people.
There's that. Well, I'm sure there was more. I don't know. The 328 guys were doing the Steve Dangle book signing or whatever the hell it was. I don't know.
Oh God.
Yeah.
The circle jerk of a lifetime.
You're not kidding. I'll talk more about that here in a second. Johnny, your weekend, you went to see the U.S. play?
Oh, I went to a bar.
Well, a bar to see because they're in, what are they, France? Is that where
the women are in France. The men are somewhere in the United States. They're playing in Philly on Sunday, and I'm not going. It's like an 8 p.m. game or something.
Motel Philly, not back again.
No. So, yeah, the American Outlaws switched bars in Baltimore, so we're in Diamondback Brewing now, which is over toward it's on Fort Avenue.
Okay.
I think we talked about that because we were trying to figure out where exactly that is. Maybe
what it was.
Pointus, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun. We had a good time. I stayed at the Death's house. We watched YouTube videos until 2:30 in the morning because I mean that's what one's to do when you're at the Death's house.
I was gonna say you're adults. You guys can do that.
Yeah, we're allowed to. We can do whatever the hell we want. We're adults.
Exactly.
I'm a man.
Oh man, I'm 40. Come at me.
What else occurred? Something else eventful occurred, I think. I don't know. I watched a lot of soccer. I've watched a lot of soccer. Every World Cup, I tend to watch almost as many soccer games as I can. Even at work, I've been watching soccer. Because of the Slingbox.
It's one of those things that's readily available for you, too.
Yeah.
That helps.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. I think it's just been all soccer recently. And I'm learning how to use this old new camera to me thing. It's interesting. It's interesting actually knowing how to use a camera correctly and not going, oh, sports scene. Okay, computer inside of camera. Do everything for me. I'm just going to press this button and make it look great.
You actually have to do work.
Mm-hmm. You actually have to figure out what things mean. It's insane what happens when that occurs.
Kind of honest work though, at least.
Yeah. So got some pictures. My birthday balloon finally died. It made
Saw
it.
that.
It made it 11 months from July. I had been letting it run its course. It finally made its way to the floor, and I figured that meant it was retiring. So
that was the time.
yes, got rid of birthday balloon from last year, and yeah, all in all, decent week
Nice.
for me.
So I almost missed my flight to Vancouver because I forgot how traffic was on Thursday afternoons in Winnipeg. Got there just as they were saying final boarding call. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. Security line was a bastard too. That was a fun time on Thursday. Got to Vancouver. Got the rental car situation. Went to the National Car Rental. They're like, oh, we just gave away the Jeep Wrangler. You got a choice between a Dodge Durango and a Beamer. And I'm like, oh boy, I don't know what I'm going to do with that Beamer. Just give me the Beamer. Your boy got the Beamer.
So you had rented a Jeep in the first place?
Yes.
Why did they give away your Jeep?
I don't care. I got a Beamer.
Okay.
At that point, the questions go out the door. They've supplied me with something much better. So I got like a Beamer K100. I don't know what it was, but that thing. The problem was I couldn't open it up because all the roads there had there was like stoplight after stoplight. It was like downtown Baltimore from Vancouver all the way out to UBC. But when I did get a chance to open it up, that thing purred. It was nice. The UBC campus is beautiful, albeit hard to get to the hotel because the signage was a little wonked up. But other than that, the room was basic, just like my bitches. And the campus was beautiful, right on the ocean.
Did you stay in a dorm room, or was it actually a hotel?
It's a hotel that's near the residencies, but they convert it to a hotel for all the hotel majors or whatever, the hospitality majors.
Okay.
So they run there's two hotels on campus. One's a more upscale one that has like air conditioning, and then this one was like a Motel 6, but still nice. But it was legit hotel. They had
no air conditioning. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I had no air conditioning. It was just a tower fan.
All right.
So that was a fun time. The campus is beautiful. Like I said, there's a nice little rose garden that outlooks the ocean. There's an ocean that outlooks to downtown, little Spanish beaches. You can walk out like 50 feet before you hit water. It's a good time. It was a good adventure. It was a cheap, inexpensive. I was way away from everything, so I couldn't drink that much, but that's probably good, all things considered, because it was a trip by myself. And Cassie was there, but that was about it. Like she stayed downtown because UND paid for her stuff, and I stayed where I paid my own stuff. Vancouver itself, didn't see too much of it. I didn't really care to. I don't care about Vancouver. I saw what I saw.
We've been there before.
Exactly. And yeah, it was a good time, and then came home from Vancouver on Sunday and drove back home. It was very incident free, and then back to work. Huzzah, huzzah!
You didn't end up in Arizona?
I did not. Not like Cassie. Cassie's travel day on coming back was disastrous.
That's awesome.
So she was the
last time Laura and I came home from
because you guys went to
we
Vegas,
ended up in Vegas.
Yeah.
True story.
But yeah, Cassie apparently her day was disastrous because her flight was delayed, and then that delayed her. That kind of put her off schedule to her connector. So not a great time for her. Not great time. But
that's how I ended up in Amsterdam.
Right, exactly. So, but it wasn't Amsterdam for her. It was like, I don't know, Denver.
Yeah, close enough.
It's the Amsterdam of Colorado.
Yeah, they've got pot.
Yeah, exactly. There's drugs there. So yeah, that was my Vancouver trip. It was pretty fun, all things considered. It was a very chill atmosphere. And then campus was pretty cool too. A lot of walking places, not a lot of places to eat, but they feed us as media. So that was fun. The layout for the entire draft was kind of garbage too, because they had it on a concourse, which is very bizarre. But made it work, and apparently after draft pick number 10, when Vancouver picked, everyone left. So that's even better. And that's it. That's the story of Jesus.
Sounds like a normal draft.
It was, you see all the people, you see, and then the end of school happens. Not a big blow away on Saturday though.
No. Not like Dallas.
No, I think Steve Dangle had a book signing at a Maple Leafs bar in Vancouver, and that was about it.
That seems ironic.
Right? It's kind of weird. So it was a very cool bar though. It was called the Regal Beagle, so I was looking for Jack Tripper and Mr. Furley.
Nope, they weren't there.
Nope. It was
That's crap.
it was just a Date at Three's Company reference that I put out there.
Huh.
So it was fun. I enjoyed myself. It was a good time. Next year, Montreal. Oh, doctor. It'll be a fun time in Montreal.
Yep.
I am already looking to book my hotel now, so they don't really beat the shit out of me for rates.
Are we? We should book that Best Western. We could walk to.
Hey, guess what? There's no Best Western there anymore. I checked.
What?
Yeah.
That place was the best.
Yeah.
Was it even a Best Western? Or am I
think it
thinking a
was.
different place?
It was a Best Western, but I think they changed to like a local thing. So that kind of, I think the prices are still the same.
Because I remember that place being fantastic because we could walk to everything.
Yeah, and I was looking like a Holiday Inn that's not too far away is also like $140 a night. That's in walking distance.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
Can we book it now?
Yes, we can. I actually
Really?
looked at it. Yeah.
Irony.
I know. That's why I told Jen this weekend we're booking our things for Montreal, and
Might-
and we're gonna make sure there's free cancellation just in case ish changes. And they're like, yeah, let's just move it over,
I mean, I could be up for Montreal.
right?
It's an East Coast gig.
No Club
I
Super
probably
Sex,
won't
though.
be going to England. I wasn't in Club Super Sex last time I was there.
That's true.
I had my own club.
Yeah. So yeah. So that's that. That was the Vancouver trip. I'm sure more will come out later on that I remember. But I didn't drink that much, so I was kind of proud of myself. So I remembered a lot of it. So
That's good. Was there like even a party on Thursday night or anything?
no, there was that the Jason Botsford Memorial thing that they had for the Vancouver sports writer. He wrote for I think the Vancouver Providence and the Athletic, who suddenly passed away a couple months ago.
Huh.
So they did a benefit show for him, raised a lot of money for his family.
Nice.
I didn't know him, so I didn't go. I didn't feel, if people wanted to have tickets and who actually read him and cared for him, then that's one more ticket you guys can have because I won't be there.
Yep.
So
Makes sense.
Yep. And then I met up with Sean Leahy on Thursday night, and we hung out with him and the 328 guys. So that was a thing.
Nice.
Yep. And that was that. And that's how the cookie crumbles. And I wore my Maryland tie, and people seem to enjoy it. So I'm happy about that.
That's good. People
Yeah.
should enjoy a Maryland tie.
They should, because a lot of people, they see that, they're just like, I know what that means. I know what that is. They kind of give you the dead eye. And it's funny. One of the people I follow on Twitter and who follows me, Patrick at Generation X-Wing. He's like, you must be Scotty Waz because I see that Maryland tie. I'm like, hell yeah. He's like, I almost wore my Maryland Terrapins jersey because of you. I'm like, hell yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, so there's that. All right, let's get to some injury news.
All right.
You don't have to.
Should I
pump the
play
music.
music?
Nah,
There's
just-
only one injury.
There's only one injury, and it's Vladimir Tarasenko has a knee scope. He's going to be reevaluated in 4 weeks. That's not a good sign when you need reevaluation in 4 weeks.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean,
much
when
about knee
Mark was
scopes.
getting ready to have his knee scoped, right? Wasn't he supposed to have an MCL surgery or something to that effect, and he came out with his ACL fixed as well?
Yeah.
So
So there's that. Hall of Fame was mentioned. Hall of Fame picks rolling in. Haley Wickenheiser leading the class. Obviously, probably one of the greatest women hockey players to grace the fine hockey landscape. Geek Carbonneau, Sergei Zubov, and Vaclav Nedomansky. One of the first defectors from Czechoslovakia. In the builder section, Rutherford and Jerry York.
Jerry York is good.
BC, Good, nice little college rub. Got
Yeah.
like that. You gotta like
Good
that.
drop.
Yep. So
Aaron wants to know if we're gonna hold a meet and greet when the draft happens in Seattle.
we will, because it's funny because Patrick lives in Seattle too. So Ron and Patrick might just hang out together and don't know it. If we do, if they're Seattle, man, we'll definitely meet and greet. I'm not beyond meeting and greeting. Find a bar for us to meet and greet, and we'll sign things.
Whatever. Children.
Yeah, children. Car, like I don't know. We'll co-sign for a car,
Baseball cards. Doesn't have to be ours.
but they have to be Gem Mint 10 condition.
All
Meat
right.
Island.
That's true. I'll sign your 1989 Fleer King Griffey Jr. rookie card. That's worth probably about $14.50 right now.
Johnny will sign any rated rookie card.
Any rated rookie card
for a pint of beer. That's the exchange.
Nice.
That's a good pint. So that brings us to this, the Patreon pick of the week. Thanks to Chris, Matthew, Damon, Mark, Trista, Brian, Jeff, Kevin, Ethan, Mitch, Angela, and Sean. They support us. You can too. Patreon.com/FaceOffHockeyShow. That helps us go ahead and get some stuff. Helps with these draft trips. Helps with making the show look fancy and fantastic.
Helps with finding something new.
Helps,
when Google Hangouts
exactly
stops being a thing.
When this stops being a thing, we got to figure something
Aaron
out.
said it sounds like a plan.
Cool. AA runs on top of it. One of the charter members of the Face Off Hockey Show fan club in Seattle.
Yeah, I mean, we had a fan club before a team.
It's true.
Take that, Seattle. Name yourselves here.
Exactly. And your name's here. So we talk about personal Hall of Fames. I didn't see the grocery store Hall of Fame. Apparently it's by invite only.
What?
So I did not go to I did not run out to Richmond to go to the grocery store Hall of Fame in Richmond, BC.
By invite only.
Because I guess they have weird hours and they don't think it's a good roadside that
means you have to tell them like, hey, I want to come to the Hall of Fame, and they're like, okay.
You gotta call
Jerry, go down and open the hall.
Essentially, that's it.
Hall of Fame.
Somebody has to be there to open it. So,
all right, I'm gonna walk down from my house and make sure the door's open so you guys can look through.
Yeah, exactly. See,
became very country all of a sudden.
I was gonna say very country in British Columbia. By the way, did not smell a lot of pot out there in BC.
Really?
Only when we I asked Cassie the same thing. She's like, have you smelled a lot of pot? She's like, no. And then we walked outside on Friday night and there it was. I'm like, there it is.
It's always around Leahy.
Right?
That's what I found.
Kind of weird. So what's our personal Hall of Fames?
Okay.
It could be anything. Honestly, I would go Hotel Hall of Fame. Hotels we stayed at on the road for draft trips. And number one on that list would be Columbus because it was free. They gave us free hotels.
That's true. It's a very true statement.
So Columbus is number one.
That was our only live show as well. Actually, so when you really look back at this, we were doing live shows before things like Puck Soup.
Yeah.
We just had to figure out how to do it with our own PA systems.
Did we bring our own PA system for that? Yeah, I think we did, didn't we?
Yes, we did. We had our own speakers and a soundboard.
That's right. I can't even remember how we got hooked up with the R-Bar people either.
That was the Jacket Backers.
That's right.
Because they signed the Stanley Cup.
That's right, they did.
Because they contacted us, I think, when we were going to, because we knew we were going to the draft, and they
probably read the newsletter.
Yeah, they sent us something, and then we hooked all that up. And if we weren't drunk for 3 days straight in that town, my God,
that was a good night. Number two for me would be Minneapolis, St. Paul, because it was right, or at least for me, because I stayed in the St. Paul side. You guys stayed in Minneapolis. Me and Lyle stayed in St. Paul, and we were right next to that standalone Sears. So the standalone Sears was crucial because I think we've got a belt and some audio cables there too. And I think Mark got a shirt.
Wasn't that also tied to the Little Caesars?
No, that was Pittsburgh.
Oh,
Pittsburgh was the one that was tied to the Little Caesars in that little shit mall right past Comcast.
Standalone Sears, though.
That was a mall because it had the Kmart because they had the little sleeves in the Kmart. They also had a sports card store and a jewelry store and probably
that's right.
probably
Oh,
a
you remember a
GNC.
lot about this. Wow.
Oh, I remember Pittsburgh. I remember all the draft trips. No matter how drunk I am, I remember all the draft trips. Philly was okay. The Philly airport one was nice. They had a nice little courtyard.
That is true, Brian.
What did Brian say?
He just changed it to Schittsburg.
Oh yes, Schittsburg. That was a shitty town. I hated it. I did not like, but I liked the hotel. The hotel was nice because we also stayed around people who were there for the Detroit Tigers, Pittsburgh Pirates baseball series. So it was a nice mix of people.
Yes.
I'm looking at my wall because that's where all my credentials are. I didn't like Los Angeles. Montreal was a good hotel room too. Montreal was a good hotel because it was in walking distance and it didn't cost much.
I had a great time in my hotel room in Montreal.
Hey, I think that's about it. I'm looking at my hotels Hall of Fame for the drafts, and that's about as much as I got for it. Chicago wasn't terrible, but it was way the hell away. Though we Ubered a lot.
We did Uber a lot.
And that was the
There was
shitty part.
good food in that area.
There was. That's the shitty part about Vancouver. There was no Uber. Uber is illegal.
We did do the draft in Carolina, Brian.
Yes, we did. I think we stayed at a Big Ramada, and we went to what was that steakhouse that used to be at Arundel Mills? They had a chain down there, or not?
We actually, if I remember correctly, we stayed in exactly the same hotel. Well, I stayed in exactly the same hotel like 3 years later for my friend's wedding that was in North Carolina.
Yeah, I think you did tell me that. There was that one. God, what was the name of that steakhouse? Damon Steakhouse.
Damon.
We had Damon Steakhouse because that was the arena area still was undeveloped. So the Damon's was still there, not too far from the arena. Yeah, I think that's my Hall of Fame when it comes to drafts. Dallas was okay. It wasn't terrible. But
So I would have to piggyback off of that then.
please do.
And I would have to have a Hall of Fame of top moments from drafts.
Ooh.
But I'm only going to make it a top 3. And these are moments that don't include draft, the actual draft.
The actual draft itself.
Yes. So
Perfect.
I'm going to say my third a Hall of Fame mention on our draft trips would have to be the Pittsburgh bar with Jen
Yes.
surprising you after me talking to her for quite literally days and hours leading up to it with a point by point motion of where we were in order for her to surprise you at the draft.
As I was talking to Greg Wyshynski about whether Titanic was an action, was it Titanic? Yeah, Titanic was a romance or an action movie.
Yes, so that was a top moment of that's a Hall of Fame moment in our situations here. I'm going to say that the before mentioned, actually, you know what? I'm going to say an honorable mention was the soccer game that we went to in Chicago. That was fun. Another top Hall of Fame moment was our decision to go to Damon's in the first place, because I fully remember us having a pass to go to the media dinner that night and going, do we really want to go to the media dinner? And then going, no, let's pull in there. There's a steakhouse.
Well, there was a Damon's, and then that night during the media dinner, we had the drinks at the person's house that was allegedly a bar.
Yes. Right.
Which we could probably never find again.
No, there's zero chance because I think it was someone's house.
Yeah.
Either that or we were in some fraternity house that we just didn't know at the time.
Whatever it was, they had a liquor license and about an inch of piss on the floor, so you knew it was a good place.
The entire floor. It wasn't just the bathroom.
No, it was literally coating the entire floor. We sat out on the porch. It was a good time.
The entire floor. I'm going to say that my number one moment so far of any draft is hanging out in the Irish bar in Montreal on, God, it might have been Saturday night. It was the only night where it was all of us, Leahy, Wyshynski, and Lyle, all together in the same place.
Oh, I don't think Leahy was at that show.
No, no, you do. Yeah, I don't think Leahy was there.
No, his first one I think was St. Paul.
So yeah, so I think my number one moment is that I got that great black and white picture of the talking heads of
Yeah.
hockey.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say David Byrne and
No.
the Talking Heads.
Mm-mm. The talking heads were not in town.
You know what, Johnny? Can I throw this one maybe for your consideration as a fourth?
Sure.
Toronto, the bar at like 2 a.m. watching England
Oh,
against.
that's another great story. God,
Yeah, that was a great story.
I actually told that story this week because
Oh, did you?
because every time the World Cup comes up, somehow this Toronto story comes up. So we were talking about it, about how like I woke up early. Oh, I remember how it came up because we were talking about like where were you when the U.S. lost to Germany in the 2002 World Cup with the Torsten Frings handball, and I know exactly where I was. And I told the entire story of going to the bar and asking the bartender if they were watching the World Cup games that night, and him asking me who was asking, and then us going back and getting to the bar at like 10:30, leaving the bar at like 4:30 in the morning, and having like a $20 Canadian tab.
Yeah.
And giving them a $20 bill in American money, which at that point was worth like $40, and just walking out. And being like, you know what? We drank for 6 hours. I think we're okay. And then going back to the hotel and you passing out and me jumping up and down on the bed, yelling at the TV after the U.S. Got robbed out of that game. Not that I'm still holding a grudge from 2002 or anything, but I might be. So yeah, so that was really that was actually, so I'm gonna say if I ranked drafts, I'm going to say that 2002 was my most enjoyable draft just because of the sheer randomness. Because I fully remember us putting in for credentials on Wednesday night during the show, getting approved on Wednesday night, me driving back to my house and packing a bag, and then you picking me up from my house after you had packed a bag, and us driving to Toronto that night to get to the hotel that we booked literally less than 12 hours later, or less than 12 hours earlier, when we made it to Toronto 12 hours later.
And of course, this 6 fries for only $1.
And the 6 fries for $1, the stop in Buffalo.
The Hall of Fame.
I feel like the early drafts were the way to our
underrated
wheelhouse.
Underrated,
because like Toronto and then the Raleigh draft, like we got to Raleigh. If I remember correctly, we made it to Raleigh before the computer had registered that we needed a room.
Yeah. So because we got there at 5 because we underestimated how quick of a drive it was.
No, we estimated just fine.
Oh.
MapQuest estimated just fine. Yeah. It's just you drove faster than MapQuest decided you should drove.
What can you say?
And I slept the whole time.
So it was 11 at night. What do you want? Also, Nashville. A lot of stories from Nashville we don't talk about.
Yeah, Nashville's kind of the lost draft.
Because it was one of those times where we couldn't enjoy it because I was still 20. So
I mean, we still had some fun.
Oh, we had a great time.
Yeah, I slept in a bathtub.
It's good time.
Good times.
Good times. Good times. So yeah, I think after the
Brian,
lockout,
we definitely used MapQuest. We had to print them out even in order to figure out where we were going.
Or 04, brother. You think there was GPS? Please. Johnny had a Razor until like 5 years ago.
That's true. That's an actual true statement. That came up also. We were talking about flip phones randomly at work. So like at work this week, we had the greatest conversation. So we were talking about like flip phones randomly and people being cool. And somebody was like, yeah, like I wasn't really that cool. Like I had a flip phone, but I never had a Razor. And I was like, oh, I had a Razor. Actually, I had like 4.
Yeah.
Like everybody would get a new phone and they'd give me their Razor. And then I'd just flip the SIM card out into a new phone to me. I think I had like 4 colors of that.
Interesting.
But yeah, I think those early drafts, the early drafts are the ones that I had the most fun with because, like the Toronto draft that we went to, I didn't even have credentials for. I walked around the upper deck of the
Air Canada.
concourse, like the upper deck in the arena, and I think I actually, if I remember correctly, I may have talked to Jay Bomeister because he was like walking around the upper deck like randomly, and I think I talked to him at one point.
Nice.
And then the next year was when we actually like both had credentials and we could make it work when they
Mhm.
actually cared about people who wanted to cover the draft.
Yeah.
So I think the early drafts that we went to were a lot of fun. I think that there was a period of time where they just became blown out. Like the Ottawa trip and the Columbus trip were fun in themselves, but were just massively drunken times. Those were like when you get to the behind the podcast that comes out on VH1, those will be the days where you just see us drinking into oblivion and passing out on the streets and all of those things. That's when that occurs. That's when the hard drugs kick in.
Mhm.
And then we kind of like lost everybody basically in LA and started putting together the core team again.
Yeah.
The core group.
Yeah, LA was definitely a turning point. Yeah, because then we kind of started to get more and more serious, and then the NHL kind of threw the fucking
Well,
branch.
that was when we
from
also had
that.
to start fighting for credentials. Like after that one, even
Yeah.
though we had just literally traveled to Vancouver and LA in like 3 years.
Yeah. Well, hell, even that, like Ottawa to Montreal, St. Paul.
I mean, the
like-
Ottawa trip was fun because I stayed in that remote place by myself for like 4 days before
Sure.
everybody else showed up.
Right, and then it kind of got ruined after that.
Right. Actually, I had a lot of fun when I was there by myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Playing golf. Man, I could crush a golf ball in Ottawa. Like the air was really thin or something. I have no idea.
And then you had the Stanley Cup there with you too.
Either that or I think it was because everything was measured in meters instead of yards. Maybe that's why I was hitting the ball so far.
That probably doesn't. I will talk to a guy who's a big meter maker. I don't know what that means. Lyle Richardson joins us, inspectorshockey.net. Lyle, we're talking about our favorite draft trips and how the younger ones get kind of lost in the fold because we've been separated them for 17 years now.
Yeah.
17 years ago, we went to our first draft.
I was listening to that and your guys' overnight run, midnight run.
It really was.
The Scotty Waz and Johnny P version of Midnight Run to Toronto. But
the best part about that story is I don't even remember how I took off work for 2 days.
you probably just
like
just
I was
left.
definitely working. I don't think you were working yet.
Oh, me? No, God, no.
Yeah,
No,
I think
I was just doing shit for Sean.
What
yeah,
year
I was
that?
definitely working already. So I have no idea how I remember taking off work for 2 days, like literally that night, and being like, "Hey, I'm going to Toronto. I'll see you guys. Bye."
What year was that one?
02.
The 02. Okay. Yeah. Shit, I was still full-time military. This was still just kind of like a hobbyist sort of work in progress thing for me at that time. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So we were
Wow.
lamenting that because I still have to put the Vancouver credential up on the board over here.
Up on the board.
So gotta put it on
Wait,
the
hold
board.
on. They didn't give you a like lanyard?
I have a lanyard. See what I do is let's pan over since I can do this. So I put the lanyard. So I put the lanyards over on this side here, and then I put the credentials lined up and down here.
Nice.
Look at that.
So
all of mine right now are in an Adidas sneaker box.
Nice. I don't know how to put this back on again. There we go. Lovely.
A little higher. There you go.
So it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, the Maryland Black Bear one needs to make it up into the Adidas box.
There you do. There you do. There you do. What the hell was that?
There you do.
There you do. Sometime it do though. We still haven't gotten through all our rundown because we got lost in translation.
Yeah.
But it's good. Lyle's here. You can talk some things with us.
Yeah. Well, can I just say the 3 best drafts were the 3 I went to?
There it is. Montreal, St. Paul, and
Buffalo.
Oh, that's right, Buffalo.
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 Yeah.
Buffalo. The only thing I remember about Buffalo that I liked was the bombed out areas. and the giant ass cookie on that second day.
Oh my lord! Oh my lord!
Size of a toddler.
The biggest thing I remember of the Buffalo draft was going to the bathroom and walking out and being accosted by some women asking me how I know Sean Leahy.
No, it was about Wyshynski because he hugged us.
Because no, it was Leahy. Well, okay, maybe it was both of them, but it was because they walked in and like saw us and they're like, "Hey," and they like gave us hugs and didn't like talk to anybody else.
Right.
And they're like, "Who are these guys? How do these guys know them? Who are these people?" And I'm just like, I'm literally trying to walk out of the bathroom, ma'am. Can you let me go back to my friends?
They are the power behind the throne. Leave them be.
Yeah, exactly.
No, they will have you destroyed. There you go. Mm.
So retirement news.
Muse.
Brooks Orpik, Matt Hendrick both retire. Matt Hendrick going to player development. Brooks Orpik, I hope, does for the Caps. I think he is a valuable asset for any team. And I think the Caps would very much be in the good to sign him as a coach.
Opening up his own shootout store.
Right, exactly. It's called Delicious Dangles.
But he's got himself a future either in coaching or development, one or the other. I no, because I know he's with the Wild player.
Oh yeah,
development
Orpik absolutely
with
does.
Bombardier, but Orpik absolutely. Yeah.
Well, you see what he did with Burakovsky this year and how he kind of set his game and on and off the ice straight. That kind of helps a lot too.
It's just, but yeah, I was just kind of a little sad to hear, basically that he played in pain all season long. He couldn't even climb stairs because of his knee. So, yeah, kind of, yeah, it's smart to listen to your body. Yeah.
Yep. Craig Berube, interim tag off, 3-year deal in. Obviously good to go. Now here's one. And Lyle, maybe you can be the eyes and ears for me here because I think this might be the first time cap recapture's been a thing. Roberto Luongo retires after 19th season. Vancouver on the hook for $3 million for the next 3 seasons. Is this the first prominent cap recapture?
I believe that it is. In fact, I'm gonna try and pull this up here
because I can't remember another one that was this.
Neither do I.
But he did a great job telling everybody.
Well, yeah, of course.
He did very classy. Very classy. He isn't.
I don't know how he threw his pads up there with the sneakers, though.
How that didn't the cables didn't rip apart.
There was one other notable cap recapture.
That's part of tonight's haha. No, I'm just kidding.
And that is part of tonight's haha.
Oh no, the haha fuck you. You guys are gonna.
Okay. Anyway, all right. This is a mini haha fuck you. Very quickly. Each of you get a chance to shoot your best shot on this one. There was one other player, notable player, not some third line plugger, a notable player who the contract was hit with a cap recapture penalty. Name.
Can you give us a 2-3 year time window? Give us a 3-year time window.
No.
Well, there's that too.
2013.
Oh fuck. 2013.
It would be for the 2013-14 season that it started.
Okay. Johnny, you have any guess?
I'm gonna go with Chris Pronger.
Oh, that's a good one.
Sorry.
But yeah, because he buried his thing.
Chris Pronger didn't retire.
No, he
went on. Yeah, he went on LTIR permanently.
He had the job with the NHL while still getting a paycheck from the Flyers.
He still hasn't retired.
No, I think he's retired. I think his contract
finally
ran out.
His contract finally ran out. He went on long-term injured reserve. Okay, so Johnny, sorry, I'm afraid you're wrong. You'll be going home with the home version of haha fuck you, the Lyle edition.
That's me walking upstairs to my own bed.
There it is.
It's a $3 mini bottle of Glenfiddich.
Hey, that's fine.
That's a good consolation prize.
That's good.
Glenfiddich, the Inverness treat.
That'll help me sleep.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who got
2013.
I
can't give you any more.
Wade Redden.
Sorry.
Brian would like to guess Rick DiPietro.
Sorry.
That would be cap recapture. He never got traded.
Yeah. No, it was Ilya Kovalchuk. because he retired and then unretired. So he's the only other person. But this one is, the first from a player who was traded. And the Canucks are going to be enjoying all 3.3 mil of that cap recapture penalty. Though, as one person I noticed on Twitter said, they should thank Bobby Lou because of his retirement, they won't go out and sign Tyler Myers to an $8 million contract. So
sometimes you got to save yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to save yourself.
You got to race.
Yep. So Bobby Lou, once again, one last time, doing the Canucks a solid. There you go.
I did appreciate how he said, "Now I am just like all other Floridians, and I'm just a retired. I'm just a retired Floridian."
Yeah. I loved his Twitter thing where he said he's taking his talents to a South Beach retirement home.
Genius.
That was I'm gonna miss Bobby Lou.
If he's not on TV in 6 months, we all have problems.
Oh, he would be a natural. He is a natural, and as we all discovered thanks to his Twitter feed, he is wickedly funny. Very, very funny guy. But to me, he is this era's greatest goaltender never to win a Stanley Cup. Though that will very soon be probably in the next 3 years, Henrik Lundqvist. Yeah, but Lundqvist is still active, still has a shot. But you look at what Luongo retires with, though. I mean, my God. I mean, his save percentage, what was it that I read? His career save percentage, 9.19. That is the best out of the 7 goaltenders who retired with more than 400 career wins. That's saying something, He finished, what was it, second or third all time in wins and second most games played, something along the line.
Wow,
it's incredible numbers that he put up for a very long career.
Two good things, by the way. One, first of all, AJ said he's going to miss Bobby Lou. He hopes that the Panthers keep him around as an ambassador or something like that. And then I'm pretty certain I saw on Twitter this afternoon something. It was an Islanders fan who basically was like, obviously the guy that we traded away in order to pick Rick DiPietro played over had over 400 wins as a goalie in the NHL or something like that.
Yeah, here it is. He is one of only 3 goaltenders to play 1,000 games. Very quickly, can you name the 2 who played more than he did?
Wait, what was this?
Okay, he is only the one of only 3 goalies to play 1,000 games. Name the other 2. We will start with you, Scotty. You can name one of them.
Brodeur.
Correct. Johnny?
Ooh. Patrick Waugh.
Ding, ding, ding. Well done, guys. You redeemed yourself from the Kovalchuk fiasco. You're correct.
Well, it's still something that the Devils haven't been able to do.
Also, very quickly,
but they might have this weekend.
He is second all-time in saves with 28,409.
I believe that. He was making like 50 saves a night in Florida. That first tenure in Florida.
Holy shit.
More rubber than a German hooker.
Yep. Oh my Lord! Saw more rubber than a dead skunk on the Trans-Canada Highway. 2-time second-team All-Star. That's a shame he never got to your first team. I know.
He also played in the era with Brodeur too when he was there.
Brodeur and the final few years of Waugh and Hasek as well.
And you can only have one goalie.
He ranks 10th all-time in save percentage at 9.19. Yeah, but he never
save percentage.
He was a 3-time finalist for the Vezina, never won. Finished in the top 5 on 5 occasions. He was runner-up for the Hart Trophy in 2006-07, and backstop Canada gold medal in 2010. Hooray!
How are you the runner-up for the Hart Trophy and didn't win the Vezina that year?
Marty Brodeur.
That's crazy.
Marty Brodeur. Both of them had incredible. Both of them were the first goalies to crack the 40-win season. The first 2 goalies to crack the 40-win category in the same season. And Brodeur, that was also the year Brodeur broke Bernie Perron's record for most wins in the season, I believe. I believe it was that year. But yeah. But Luongo was just, Luongo's misfortune was he spent a lot of years on bad teams. I mean, we all remember when he was at his peak with Vancouver with the Canucks. And boy, did he ever turn that franchise around in a hurry when he joined that club in 06-07. And he, Carey backstopped into a Stanley Cup final. That Canucks team in 2011 was one of the greatest teams to never win a Stanley Cup. I may say they were a dominant team. You think back to that 2011 team, they were a powerhouse, and they were a powerhouse in the West for years after, before, once Luongo arrived there. But he had those many seasons early in his career with Florida where for a lot of nights he was the only thing keeping that team competitive. And he goes down in his history as I think that trade, the Roberto Luongo trade, may have been the dumbest trade that Mike Milbury made, and Mike Milbury made a lot of dumb trades. I know the Zdeno Chara and all that, and that's the one, but honestly, I think Chara. And no disrespect to Chara, obviously. But I think the Luongo
You should never
deal,
disrespect Chara.
No. Never disrespect the biggest bear. Never. We are also bears. But Luongo was a franchise goaltender. They were really excited the Islanders fans were really excited when that kid cracked the lineup. And they were like, goalie of the future, blah, blah, blah. And then Mike Milbury saw a shiny thing called Rick DiPietro and said, nope, screw it. He's the goalie of the future, and stupidly traded away Luongo to Florida. And I think that trade ranks as the dumbest trade that Mike Milbury ever made. Because can you imagine how much better? I think the Islanders would have been a better team quicker if he hadn't traded away Luongo. I really do.
Would he have ever ended up somewhere else, though? He probably played his entire career on Long Island. If he's
but here's what I say is that you can pitch that thing like, oh, he could have made the Islanders better. They still had dog shit in front of him. It was the same situation.
Yeah,
as the
dog
Panthers.
shit. Yeah, but you know what? It
didn't automatically.
But there were better players. But they were still better players on that team, though. If
they were better dog shit,
there wasn't dog shit on that team. A lot of those guys that Milbury stupidly traded away. You think of guys like Todd Bertuzzi. You think of guys like Zdeno Chara.
So here's the better question. Had the Islanders kept the team that they had put together and drafted instead of Milbury trading them away for all these other pieces, how good the team would that have been?
Ask our old buddy BD Galoff about that, because that haunts him and Islanders fans of that era. That still keeps them up at nights, I swear.
The next season, so the first season without Mr. Luongo in the lineup. Not a great.
I know, but I'm not saying it would have turned him around like that next season. But I'm saying if they had kept him,
Lyle, if my aunt had a dick, she'd be my uncle. So let's not fucking talk about.
Traded away Chara, even by trading away Chara for Yashin and bringing in Mike Pekka, okay. Can you imagine, though, if they had Roberto Luongo in there as their goaltender with those two guys there? That would have been an automatic turnaround, would have made them even better than they were. I mean, they turned it around that year and they made it in. That time that was I could see him, Wings goaltender.
Osgood 2 years later.
Ozzy. Yeah, Osgood. But Ozzy wasn't at his best then.
Hold on a second.
And Luongo was
the next year
So
they played, the goaltenders were John Van Beesbrook, Wade Flaherty, DiPietro, and Chris Terreri.
Yeah.
On defense, Roman Hamrlik, Kenny Janssen, Evgeny Korolev, Bratislav Mezzi, something called an Anders Myhrvold, Ray Schultz, Gary Galley, Kevin Hammer, Eric Carnes.
So you're telling me
the irony of me
if they had kept
question,
Luongo,
by the way, the irony of me asking that question of who the Islanders goalie was.
But you're telling me that if they didn't have Luongo, if they'd had Luongo in goal when they made the big trades in 2001, that they couldn't have taken off and done better than they did with him between the pipes during that era. Come on. Of course it would have. That trade, the Luongo trade, was the worst. That was the worst trade of all the bad, horrible trades that Mike Milbury made. That one was the worst.
Is there a Mike Milbury trade counter? Because I would like.
Yes, there is.
Oh God, there's got to be somewhere.
There has to be an entire website. If not, somebody has to create a parody account.
Thank you.
Mike
Yep,
Milbury.
here we go. Found it.
Did you find it?
All right. So, and there's some bad deals here.
Somebody
my
needs to create
Lord.
a parody Twitter of Mike Milbury announcing the original trades that he made over again on Twitter right now.
Let's see here. There's Tchaikovsky. That wasn't a terrible trade. Come on. Is there any really bad trades? Van Beesbrook for Terrari is a good trade.
One of the ones I'm looking at on one of the sites lists number 1 traded Ole Jokinen and Roberto Luongo for Mark Parrish and Ole Kvasha.
Parrish played well for the Islanders. Let's not fucking disrespect Mark Parrish. Let's not
disrespect Mark Parrish.
Let's not
because he traded Ole Jokinen and Roberto Luongo. Ole Jokinen was a better player.
Felix Potvin
Horrible trade.
Felix Potvin to the Canucks for Bill Mucklet, Dave Scatchert, and Kevin Weeks. That's a bad trade.
That's a bad trade.
That's a pretty bad
Yeah.
trade.
But he got
That's a bad
3
trade.
players back for that one player.
And Bill Mucklet and Dave Scatchert, I think, got turned around for Zdeno Chara.
Oh, here's a bad one too.
Yeah.
Traded Brian McCabe,
Uh-huh.
Todd Bertuzzi, and the 3rd round pick, which became Jarkko Ruutu. Doesn't matter. Still, McCabe and Bertuzzi for Trevor Linden.
That's a bad deal.
As mean, hey, I love
That's
me
a
Trevor
bad-
Linden, but I'm sorry. That was a
Wasn't
bad
that a
trade.
past his prime, Trevor Linden?
Yeah,
Yes.
that was a fading.
I think that was, and then he got traded to the Caps later on that year.
and he did a
Here's one too. The Islanders get Matthew Biron, Josh Green, Ole Jokinen, and a 1999 first-round pick, which turned out to be Tyler Pyatt, for Marcel Cousineau, Ziggy Palffy, Brian Smolinski, and Daniel Johansson to the Kings.
Wow.
It's not a great one.
How many goalies went through that system?
Plenty.
My God.
There's
Like,
a lot.
every trade he made brought in a goalie or sent one out.
Tommy Salo to the Oilers for Mats Lindgren. Oh, geez. What other great ones we have here?
I still have Chris Osgood sitting next to
Eric Fischio to the Oilers for Mike Watt.
What?
What?
Wasn't he also a goalie?
Yeah.
Fischio?
Yes, he was. That's why I'm naming him.
Of course, we got Yashin for McCall and Chera and the 1st round pick that turned into Jason Spezza. That one stings. That leaves a
Darius
mark.
Kasparaitis and Andres Johansson to the Penguins for Brian Smolinski. That's not a great one either.
No.
Wendell Clark, Matthew Schneider. Oh, that's the later Wendell Clark. That's not a good Wendell Clark.
Yeah, that's not a good one.
Oh yeah, no. Don Beaupre, Brian Berard, and Martin Straka he acquired from the Senators for Wade Redden and Damian Rhodes. So that's a good deal. These aren't great deals, ladies and gentlemen.
No. But you can very rapidly arrive at the conclusion of looking at this dog's dinner that, Mike Milbury never should have been a general manager. Ever.
But he's analyst now, and he talks about it.
The only good thing about Mike Milbury during his tenure as general manager of the Islanders is he got off one of the greatest one-liners of all time. When he was feuding with Ziggy Palffy's agent, and he said that somewhere a village is missing an idiot.
There we go.
That was. I have to give props where it's due. That was a great one-liner. When I first read that, I mean,
Someone
I
else
literally
gave it
spit
to him.
take my coffee.
That's
It
true.
was that good. But
All right, let's get some rapid fire things.
Rapid fire.
Boom, boom, boom. Salary cap, $81.5 million.
Oh.
Not so good, boss.
Oh.
ouch.
Uh-oh.
And because of that, part of the reason why PK Subban's now with the Devils.
PK Subban traded to New Jersey Devils. His second trade in his 5 years, I think.
That one came up fast.
There's a lot of rumblings that it would have been Toronto. Oddly enough.
Toronto was looking, but they didn't have to. They couldn't afford him.
How?
Crazy little
I know,
thing
right?
called a Mitch
Salary
Marner
cap.
contract.
I mean, they only had like
signing.
14 cents to work with. How
I
are they
know,
going to
yeah,
bring
exactly, right? Yeah.
in PK Subban?
I
guess
think
what they still do.
look, we'll trade you Nikita Zaitsev. Hello.
Where'd you go? Patrick Marlowe's contract dusted off to the Carolina Hurricanes, which would be
Though
good
I
for a
do have
veteran presence if Justin Williams does retire.
I do have to say I got to give props to Dubas on that one. You know, he managed to move a contract that was very difficult to move. And yes, it cost him a first round pick next year, but listen, last time I checked, you have a lineup that consists of let's see. Currently Mitch Marner, first round pick, Austin Matthews, first round pick, William Nylander, first round pick, Morgan Riley, first round pick, Nazem fucking Kadri, first round pick. So you're doing all right there. You can afford that 1 year, let that go.
You might have 4 extra ones coming soon. So
yeah, I know. But can I just again, very, very quickly, if there is not an offer sheet signing this year, pundits should be forbidden from ever speculating about offer sheets again.
So if there
Never,
isn't
ever,
one this
ever.
year, can we just strike it from the CBA?
Yeah.
Can we just get rid of the offer sheet? Because it's
I
not
agree
going to
with that.
ever occur if it's not going to occur this
Well,
summer.
we've already heard that PRV's going to be getting offer sheeted.
By himself?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Good luck.
Can
with
you
that.
offer sheet yourself?
You do realize that if the offer sheet is for less than $1.5 million, there is no compensation.
Well, there you go.
There literally isn't any compensation. I believe it's $1.5 million. If it's anything under $1.5 million, no compensation required.
Okay. Well,
He's yours.
yep,
He's not
Mr.
gonna. Yeah. He's not. He could get traded, but anyway, we'll see.
Oh, sorry. Qualifying offer, not offer sheet.
Yeah.
Aaron asks, is it possible for Arizona to pick up Vancouver's recapture on Luongo?
Nope.
I was going to say, can you trade recapture?
No. No, you cannot.
Listen,
it's a great question, though.
It is.
That is a good
Well, it
question.
is. It is. But no, that's one thing I know. You know you can't move. You can't move your cap.
Here's the thing: Colorado needs to just put an offer sheet in for Marner, just for shits and giggles.
For who?
For Colorado, for Marner, for shits and giggles, even if he doesn't sign.
Because you know that Joe Sakic is going to be active in the free agent market. But trading Soderberg yesterday.
Oh yeah, no, he's got money.
Oh yeah, and he's got a plan. He's going after somebody. Apparently, it's not going to be the offer sheet route. Apparently, he wants to be a major player via unrestricted free agency.
He's gonna make it a tag team match with the Undertaker. Like what is
Uh-huh.
Teddy Long that is Joe Sakic think he's doing?
Well, he's made sure he's got lots of cap room to re-sign Mikko Rantanen to his $9 million per season.
Well, yeah,
deal. That's for
he
darn
earned
shit.
it. Earned that shit.
Boy, did he ever. I don't see him going the offer sheet route. But free agency, yeah, he'll be busy in free agency. They tried to, and the Tyson Barrie trade rumors just won't go away either. Even though Sakic denies it, but apparently, it looked like it was real close with Vancouver, and then they just couldn't agree. And apparently, there's other offers supposedly that he could have gotten. So we'll see.
With Luongo leaving, does that pretty much clear the way for Bobrovsky to sign there?
Bobrovsky or Robin Lehner
but he's kind of steadfast in staying in Long Island. I think the Mitch Korn program treated him well.
Yeah, but the problem is that Sergei Bobrovsky is meeting with the Islanders. So
sure.
You got.
Well, he's going to do his due diligence.
So no. They're doing their due diligence. They contacted. That way it works. They contact them and say, the player.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant.
Like
the players are doing their due diligence before they decide, hey, Florida's a great place.
But yeah, look, I agree with you. I think Bobrovsky's going to end up in Florida. But on the off chance that he doesn't, that he decides that he likes Long Island better, well, where Robin Lehner's going to end up, and that's going to be in Florida.
Columbus.
Yeah, right.
that would be fantastic. And there's Dale Talon going, what?
speaking of Columbus, they made a deal to get Anton Forsberg and Gustav Forsling from the Chicago Blackhawks for Calvin DeHaan and I think it's Anteri Sarella,
Who did that?
Carolina.
Columbus. Yeah, Carolina.
Yeah.
They're picking up some extra Fs.
Yeah, they're picking up some extra fourses.
Mm.
Taking two fourses.
I think they're looking at a bit of depth there too, because they're gonna be cutting Scott Darling loose pretty soon.
Well, Scott Darling's gone. I don't think Peter Mrazek will be back. It
No,
doesn't look like
Mrazek. They're looking at keeping him. It's McElhenney that looks like
McElhenney's
going to
go.
Yeah.
We'll see
Yeah.
how it goes.
So I think
NHL.com still wrote headlines. That would have been
Who is this?
all fours.
Nice, good one.
Who's
Who's this guy?
Wow, you have an extremely white wall behind you now.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
Somebody
yeah.
stole a bunch of shit from your basement.
Damn, son.
Very true.
Damn, son.
Hi.
All right. Hi, buddy.
Hey, Mark, how you doing, man?
All right.
Ryan Hartman traded to Dallas. Tyler Pitlick to Philadelphia. How about that?
Ryan Hartman doesn't know he's been traded yet.
I know, that's
he's
the
off
funny
the
thing,
Grid
he's
in the
off the
North Woods
grid.
somewhere. Yeah. They've left him voicemails, but
That's the funny part about it.
isn't he? He's gonna be in for a big surprise come Friday.
Like, even his mom's like, he's just there. He's hanging out, doing his dang thing. Lyle, what do you think about the talking period between teams leading up to the UFA? Is it good thing, bad thing, indifferent thing? How do you feel about it?
No, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
No. Well, it puts everything above board. We know that general managers and agents, always surreptitiously talk this way. It's like, no, it's all above board now, as the way it should be.
Mhm.
I don't have a problem with that at all. If anything, it certainly expedites the process when 12:01 p.m. on July 1st kicks off. And we get all the good signings out of the way within the first hour, and by suppertime,
no.
I'm out on my back deck.
Oh, no.
What?
In an upset victory, the NHL Seattle team has selected Palm Springs, California as their new AHL franchise over Boise, Idaho. Boise, of course, having a established minor league team in the Idaho Steelheads. Palm Springs does not have an arena yet. Palm Springs is about to build an arena starting soon. But they don't have a rink yet, and God only knows if it's going to be finished. So that's some breaking news, and I thought Boise was in the hot seat for this. I thought the Idaho Steelheads are going to move on up, kids are going to be happy, but no, they don't like happiness. I found that hilarious to me. Your mileage may vary, obviously. And that's my story, and I'm sticking
Could
to
they
it.
find another team or another place that was farther away?
They could have. It'd been great if they did. Oh God, I hate this shit. Ugh. Anyway, sorry. I read that on my email. I'm like, that's not great. That's not great at all for them. All right. So if you're a betting man, Lyle, and Terry Panarin, Breadman, where Breadman going?
New York Rangers.
Wow.
I think the Rangers really, really, really want him.
Mhm.
You got John Davidson there as their new team president. Of course, he and the Breadman know each other from their days with Columbus. I know the Panthers are really interested in getting him too, but honestly, I don't. Panarin is a luxury the Florida Panthers don't need. Getting a goalie like Bobrovsky, absolutely. They also need another top four defenseman as well. Offensively, they're fine. I talked about this on the show before, a couple weeks ago. They're fine when it comes to offense. They've already got a quality first line left wing in Jonathan Huberdeau. So I don't see Panarin being a fit there, but I mean, but I really do think though that the Rangers are really, really keen to get him. And I think that maybe that might be enticing, but we'll see. But I'm leaning Rangers.
I'm still holding fast to the Panthers for Joel Quenneville and the fact that there's the one guy, I can't remember his name right now. Of course, why would I? That would be too easy. Who's his childhood friend who plays in Florida?
Guy blocks shots.
Block shots. Where's
Anton
number 24?
Valchenkov.
Yes, there. We did it, everybody.
Hooray!
We found it. Dmitry, is it Kulikov? No, Kulikov doesn't play there no more.
Kulikov plays in
Evan
Winnipeg.
Dadonov. Evan Dadonov
that's
is the guy who is his childhood friend, and they played together in youth leagues. So that could have some sway to it, too. Plus, I really want to stick it to Rangers fans saying, you guys
well,
suck a dick.
there is that. There is that. How disappointed will Larry Brooks be? Because he's been beating that Artemi Panarin drum for weeks. So,
That's
Yeah,
how
for
long
him.
it took him to
write it.
yeah, hammer that out with the two fingers. Yeah,
Ooh, gross.
Hall of Fame hockey writer Larry Brooks, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. What else is there? What else we get? Mitch Marner. So Mitch Marner is probably going to be the key to. It's Mitch Marner's season, everybody.
Oh boy. Well, of course, because he's a Toronto Maple Leaf. If he was an
Right.
Arizona Coyote, nobody would give a shit. Well, that's not true because you'd see Toronto sports pundits, stumping for the Leafs to make him an offer sheet. So there you go. Yeah. Apparently, the big kerfuffle. A lot of Leafs fans are not happy with Mitch Marner's dad. They see Mitch Marner's dad, Paul Marner, being the reason for all this trouble. So
Really?
because apparently he wants his son to get paid,
Mm-hmm.
get paid a lot of money, get paid, and they see him as the main source of all the leaks that Darren Dreger is duly reporting. I don't know who the source of Dreger's inside info is, and I'm definitely not going to disparage Dreger either. Though I couldn't resist when he tweeted today that the talks, the interviews or teams that were interested, the talks were moving at a brisk pace, and I just couldn't resist throwing up a Lipton iced tea brisk little shout out throwback.
Brisk, baby.
That's the one. Yep, very brisk. But other than that. But apparently, yeah, a lot of them are demonizing Mitch Marner's dad for that. Now, of course, Mitch Marner's dad does have a bit of a rep for kind of spouting off a little bit and letting it be known that he's not happy with what he considers his son being overshadowed by other players pretty much his whole career, even though his son has played pretty damn well at every level. So
I'm going to ask a question at this point.
Yes. I recognize the gentleman in. When
he says his whole career, what does he mean? All 5 years, right now? Because
not just NHL, he's also talking junior as well.
Oh,
there was a 10, but
he really hasn't had that long of a career so far.
2015, I believe it was 2014, 2015. He kind of beaked off a bit about how. There was the one game where, this was an OHL game between Mitch's team and Connor McDavid's team. And I guess Mitch had something like 4 points or 5 points, had a fantastic game. His team beat McDavid's team. McDavid only picked up an assist, and he said, and Paul Marner said, but who was it that the media talked about incessantly after that game? So sounds like Dad's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder. In there,
Connor McMichael.
I don't know. Maybe they live next door to Eric Lindros's parents. I don't know.
There it is.
Yeah, when you talk about hockey parents, the NHL level, supposedly they, But anyway,
never get any older.
But anyway, so there is that. But yeah, it's just, of course, this is taking on a goddamn life of its own because it's Toronto, and if a member of the Maple Leafs sneezes, all the rest of us catch a goddamn cold. So there we are.
Do we have a percentage, Lyle, on offer sheet?
Offer sheet, I'm putting that at 20% right now. I'm still in the camp of I will believe it when I see it. I'm so sick of this. Every year, we keep getting this hype that could get an offer sheet. This could be the year. And listen, I don't fault the pundits who have wrote this. I mean, a lot of them are writing that shit during slow periods, especially if their team that they've been covering got eliminated from the playoffs. You need a subject to talk about. Some guys are doing it for clickbait. Yeah, fine, whatever. We all got to pay the bills somehow. But honest to God, as I said before, if there is not an offer sheet this summer, a summer where there are teams that are pressed for cap space with quality restricted free agents that you could sign away, if that doesn't happen this year, don't ever I don't want to see another column or hear another friggin' radio interview or another friggin' insider spot on TV where you start guessing about friggin' offer sheets again. Enough, because they're not happening. People are getting sick of it already. You know, if it doesn't happen now, it's never going to happen. And I agree with Johnny. They should get it out of the CBA. If you're not going to use that tactic, stop wasting everybody's time. Get it the fuck out of there.
But
Can't
the players will fight
you
for
can
it.
negotiate for something else at that point. Like if it's not going to be used, negotiate for something cool. Like everybody gets a Porsche or something. I don't know, something like nice.
But you're right though, Johnny. You're right. If they're not going to use that tool that's in the toolbox, get rid of it.
Well, I mean, so at some point, right? Doesn't it come down to the league can effectively use that against the NHLPA and be like, well, you guys have this ability to have offer sheets for restricted free agents. Like, I feel like that's like an extra bullet that the league has. That's like, well, I mean, we gave you concession on that.
But it's a pretty weak bullet, though. I would say I don't really think that that's something that's going to be, something that they get thrown in the face there. Because really, it's something that teams, the general managers, was something that they stumped for too back in the day. That was something they wanted to have in there, to have that opportunity. It was almost like by mutual consent on that one. And then we hardly ever see them anymore. So
yeah. So why do we think that didn't happen? Why do we think that, the offer sheet system failed? Is it because the compensation for signing away a player was too great? Do you think this system would work if that compensation portion of it was changed?
And let's be honest. Like, you can offer a offer sheet, but the player doesn't have to sign it.
That's right.
And I think the player mentality is like, oh, my team, and Greg Wyshynski brings up a good point. People resign because their stuff's there.
Yeah.
Like, it's a thing where they don't have to move. They don't have to. Mark, you wouldn't know anything about this.
Yeah,
but guys like to stay in a place for a long time.
You move more than Matt Hendricks.
Yeah, I know.
It's true.
You're the Mike Sillinger of Northern Virginia.
He's
of
the
our
Mike
show.
Sillinger of the Face Off Hockey Show.
Right?
But to Mark's point though, I mean, one reason, and Greg's point as well. It's a lot of cases players just don't want to leave. They're happy where they are. Part of it, I think, to Mark's point, compensation, I think, is a factor as well. I mean, listen, if you're going to throw big money at somebody, you're looking at giving up 4 first-round picks and compensate. I mean, that's a lot, guys. That's a fair chunk of your future you're willing to sacrifice for a quick fix. Really, when you think about it. I mean, but there's other reasons it's in there too. I mean, part of it. I don't believe that there's any sort of gentleman's agreement behind it. I mean, I loved Ray Shero saying,
fuck him.
That. Yeah, fuck that. He said there's no gentleman's agreement. But I think there's a sort of a mutual understanding that, you go after my guy, and sign my guy away. What's to stop me to, what goes around comes around? What's to stop me if I'm still in this job 2-3 years from now from going and poaching one of your guys? And I think, I think a lot of people, when they saw what happened with between Brian Burke and Kevin Lowe, 12 years ago. Now, granted, they're no longer general managers in the NHL, but I think a lot of people, like, that was raw, real emotion in there. These are two guys who, up until that point, were actually good friends. They got along pretty well. And Brian Burke went off when Kevin Lowe signed Dustin Penner to that offer sheet. And I think that had a ripple effect that we're still seeing today, that a lot of people, they're like, look, we got to deal with each other here. We want to swing deals and things like that. The last thing you want is to have a guy that's going to be pissed off at you, right? Who could, maybe try and come back and steal one of your own players, sign away one of your own players in 2 or 3 years' time. So I think that carries a lot of weight into that thing too. And the salary cap as well. Let's face it.
And also one fewer GM that's going to play ball with you at the trade deadline, probably.
Yeah, exactly. And with the salary cap being what it is, not every team's got that kind of coin that they can willingly toss around. We all look at all the teams that are down near the bottom of the pay scale. the payroll scale and think, oh yeah, that team, and that team, they could make offer sheets. Why don't they pitch offer sheets? Well, there's a reason in most cases why they don't, because they're budget teams. They will never spend to the cap ceiling. Or if they're a team like Arizona, oh, they're awfully close to the cap. Yeah, because they're carrying a lot of dead contracts. That's why. They're not paying out any actual salary. They're just carrying dead cap space and doing it willingly because they got a whole bunch of draft picks and young prospects in return. But they're the rare exception. These are like Ottawa has a shit ton of cap space. They are not spending it on an offer sheet for anybody, and not because nobody wants to come to Ottawa. By the way, though, you can make that point. Beat you to it there, Scotty. I know you were thinking it. I saw the wheels turning, but no. But seriously, they're a budget team. When you see teams down the lower end of the payroll scale, they're not going to make offer sheets because they have a set budget and they're not going over it.
There we go. So Mitch Marner's going to get offer sheeted by the Arizona Coyotes, and we'll have a
That
great
would
time.
be fantastic, though, if they did. Honestly, not that I'm wishing it to wish ill on Leafs fans or anything like that. I would just like to see it for the chaos that would ensue.
Oh, sure.
If he
Absolutely.
signed an offer sheet with, oh God, it'd be fantastic if he signed an offer sheet with Ottawa. If they actually did the nuclear strike and nobody saw it coming, oh my God, that would be fantastic. But just for the chaos that would ensue.
I would like it to be actual paper, though.
Yes. What can Marner dictate to get? What is Marner's worth? Because there was a debate on this between drunken Leafs fans at a place I was at this week.
Well, what were they saying?
They were saying that there's no way in hell he's worth $11 million.
Well, of course they'd say that because they're Leafs fans and they're hoping to get him cheap and that he'll do them a favor. We all know that.
They said $8 million. $8 million over 5 years.
Oh, they're adorable. God, they actually think that's how the real world works.
I said 10-5 at a minimum.
A sensible, and I bet they just went off on you, didn't they?
They're like, nah, there's no ways, no.
Oh, yeah, you say that again, I'll throw up on your shoes. I'll throw up on your shoes.
Yeah,
They're
so
adorable. Oh my God. No. Look, if
I sure as hell hope that Irish place is still in Montreal if we go next summer.
Oh God, of course it is. Yeah. That pub's a landmark. It's not going anywhere. But I'm seriously, we all know what he's looking for. He wants 11 mil a season. That's what he wants. He and on a 5-year deal. Doesn't want 8. Doesn't want a long-termer. No, he wants the same thing Austin Matthews got. Take a little less, sure. Austin Matthews getting 11.6. He's willing to come in at 11 mil, and rightfully so. How can you turn around and say that the guy who led your team back-to-back years at scoring was the first player in your team history in 23 years to reach 90 points is worth? Oh, you should take 8.5 mil and be happy that he's getting it for the honor of playing for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Yeah, that and 250 gets you a friggin' large double-double at Tim Hortons. Sit down and shut up. Okay? He's getting big money. He's going to get paid. And that's the stark reality. Leafs fans, y'all should be blaming your boy wonder, Kyle Dubas, for painting you into this goddamn corner in the first place by going out and signing the shiny thing named John Tavares last year when he didn't need to.
It's so beautiful.
Oh, I know. I tell you, it does wonders. It does wonders for the traffic.
Too bad that
site.
no one saw this coming.
I know, right? I know none of us saw this coming.
No one saw this coming.
None of us did.
Zero.
Yeah,
almost too bad.
No
I
one.
saw you in 2020, you guys.
No one saw this coming last year.
None.
No.
0.0.
Not at all. Not at all.
So
Speaking of 2020, we'll be bowling next year.
Yeah,
2020.
Yes.
Ready to go.
I may not be able to go to the draft in Montreal next year. We'll see, but I am definitely going to the Big Stand Invitational. Oh, goddamn, yeah. I don't give a shit. I am going.
Sure.
Going.
I'm going to get my t-shirts made.
I'm going. I don't care if I'm dying of cancer. I'll be sitting there.
There you go.
Going, turn the ball for me. Got nothing against cancer. And if you didn't get me a T-shirt that said I have nothing against cancer, I'd be sorely disappointed in you, young man. I would expect nothing less, Johnny.
Wow. All right.
But anyway,
True,
Yeah.
actually.
but
We
yeah,
would just put a Hockey Fights Cancer shirt on your Big Stand Invitational, or a sticker on your Big Stand Invitational shirt.
Exactly.
because I wouldn't have anything against cancer. No.
Any final words, Lau, before we get to
No, I've
anything we should look for here on Monday or leading up to
Monday?
Monday?
Mondays. Unrestricted free agent America.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Real quick. Bobrovsky goes to Florida. Panarin goes to the Rangers. Jake Gardner maybe with Vancouver. Maybe.
Interesting. I like that move.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Joe Pavelski, I think, stays in San Jose. They'll find a way to keep him. Matt Duchene. I'm thinking Nashville Predators.
I think the Predators freed up
Yep.
enough money. They can.
Oh yeah,
they
that's
can
what that
agree to him.
C-band deal was for.
Absolutely, it was.
Yep. So
Mike Smith,
Mm.
Edmonton.
Hey, if the Flames won't resign him, I could see that. But let me tell you, but let me tell you something. If the Islanders actually sign Bobrovsky and Robert Lehner becomes an unrestricted free agent, oh man, you know the Oilers and the Flames are going to be in a bidding war to get that guy.
Oh, he would be in such a better situation in Calgary. I don't trust Edmonton's defense.
No.
Maybe that's just me.
And I think that's why he would. Well, Edmonton would love to get him, but they're but see, that's going to be the problem though. Those two teams would love to get him, but they don't have enough cap space. That kind of makes it dicey. But they would.
You got to
love
make
to
a
get
move
him.
or two. So
Yeah, but they would love to get him. But
all right, here we go.
all right.
It was a banner draft for the USA Hockey.
Yes, it was.
In total, 59 players from the United States were chosen.
Mhm.
15, I believe, NDP
17.
players. 17
17
total?
this year, new record. Yep.
Yeah, like
15 in the first round.
Yeah,
and 17
15 in the
overall.
first round.
New record.
So I'm taking this.
Mhm.
I'm taking this stateside. 38 states have had players in the NHL.
Oh boy.
The District of Columbia is not included in this, so that's 37.
Oh boy.
You are to figure out which are the bottom 10 states from 27 to 37 in terms of points. In terms of points.
Oh my God. Okay, is it okay if I pull up a map of the United States? Because
You can pull up a map of the United
Thank
States.
you. That's the only reason
Now,
the only reason why I'm doing this.
Is this all games played or only games played weekdays
United
at,
States.
at,
This
at
is-
7 p.m.?
This is NHL hockey games played for points. So you're going from
AJ just wrote, wow.
so we are going from state 27 to state 37 in terms of point
We need
total
to figure
in
out
a
when
career.
game show night is also, so we can let people
So
know.
okay, so what are we trying to do? Trying to guess the states
Guess
in
the
Guess the
state.
states. Yes.
name the bats. No, guess the states.
And we will start with Mark with a C.
See, I feel like you need to have a strategy for this.
Mhm.
And
Nope.
my
no
strategy will
strategy.
become apparent with my first overall pick of Rhode Island.
Sorry, Rhode Island is
Oh.
17th overall in points.
Wow.
Oh, little
Uh-oh.
Rhode
So you
Island.
went
20
too high, New
NHL
England.
players. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did. I did want go too high into New England, but there's fewer people that come out of Rhode Island.
It's true. It's fair.
You would do that.
Johnny
Maryland.
just missed.
Really?
They are 26th.
Damn,
Wow.
Jeff Halpern.
Essentially, that was it. That's all that stopped it was Jeff Halpern.
Damn you, Halpern. I figured there was only like 3 people, so I was
Yeah.
like,
It's actually 4 people,
all
one
right.
of which was a goalie. So technically 3 people. The 3 people or 4 people. Jeff Halpern, who had 373 points.
Mm,
Uh,
damn it, Jeff.
Jeff Brubaker, who had 25 points.
Jeff Brubaker. Yeah.
Jamie Fritsch and Jeremy Duchesne, who had 0 points. So 2 guys carried the load, and it was just Jeff Halpern.
Wow. And it was
Wow.
Jeff Albert.
Jeff
was
Halpern
just Jeff
alone
Halpern.
would have had him in 26th place. So,
Well, I mean, technically he did.
yes. Lyle.
Okay. Hawaii.
No player has played in Hawaii, so they are not eligible for this game.
Oh, they're
Okay.
out.
Sorry.
All right.
So AJ and Aaron have
Okay.
states.
Yep.
Okay.
AJ is going with Indiana.
Indiana is 15th.
Oh,
wow. Sorry.
We're right
Wow.
around that. We're right
Wow.
around that.
Indiana had 10 players come out of Indiana, obviously, because that would be redundant. John Michael Lyles, Jack Johnson,
Oh.
Don Brashear, Ken Klee were the top point getters there from
Wow.
Indiana.
Interesting.
Aaron says what?
Oklahoma.
Number 27 and first on our board is
there you go.
Oklahoma, where the cows roam, eating all our grass. I don't know if that's a song. Tyler Arneson, John Merrill,
I like that version way better.
Matt Donovan, Dan Woodley, and Burr Williams from 1909, all Oklahomans.
Wow.
Oh, and Brian has one now too.
Oh,
B.
here we go.
Brian Blair, what do you got?
Jump in.
Brian is chiming in with Arizona.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Austin Matthews
Oh,
brings
Austin
that
Matthews
way
is
up.
taking
You-
everything.
Arizona is 23
Austin
in our
Matthews
state.
on his
Austin
own.
Matthews himself has 340. I'm sorry. Austin Matthews not even listed. What? Sean Couturier, Matthew Kachuk, Ty Condon
Wow.
with 3 assists, and Jim Brown.
All
All
in there.
outside games. They were all outdoor games too. I bet.
Why?
Yeah, exactly.
Why? Okay.
I'm
Solve
trying
the
to
mystery
find
of
out
why
who they
Austin
have.
Matthews
Damn it.
isn't there.
Stop naming states. We all have. The rest of us have to go.
Yes.
Austin Matthews, San Ramon, California. He was born.
But he was
He
raised
played.
in Arizona.
They're going. I'm going birthplace with this one, Lyle.
All right.
Oh.
Okay.
All
Okay.
All right.
No,
all right.
you don't disrespect Matthew Kachuk like that.
That's true.
No, you shouldn't actually.
Because he'll splash you in the ankle.
Mark.
Or Brady Kachuk for that matter.
It's true.
I'm gonna go with Utah.
Utah.
Sorry, they are 20th.
I can't figure out
Wow.
what
Holy
I was doing. in
crap,
Utah this
Aroni,
morning.
man.
This is so
Utah,
good.
Steve Konowalchuk, Trevor Lewis, Dylan Olson, Daniel Brickley, and Richard Bachman with an assist for goalie Richard Bachman.
Frank, the story is Utah.
Yeah. Johnny?
If these are all legible, you'd see the Mormon Tabernacle. Wow.
Here's my card. The dog tried to bite that.
God, good flesh drops. That's fantastic. Wow. I'm gonna go with I'll go with New Mexico.
New Mexico has not played a game yet, therefore not eligible.
Ah.
Eligible.
All right, so after Lyle, the chat has some more here.
Kentucky.
Kentucky has not played a game, therefore not
For
eligible.
God's sake.
Wow, this is good stuff.
Screw
This
you,
is
Kentucky.
fantastic. This is actually just seeing if we can name all 50
Yes,
states.
yep.
Yeah.
So AJ would like to go with Montana.
Montana has not played a game, therefore not eligible.
Whoa!
Montana is out.
Wow.
Aaron would like to go with Idaho.
Idaho, 2 players in the NHL, 19 games total, 1 point
Oh, they're
by
37.
Pat Shea,
He's the
who was
closest.
born in 1912.
Is that the closest without going over?
Wow.
Pat Shea played 10 games for the Chicago Blackhawks in 31-32 and had an assist.
This is so
And that
good.
is the only point in Idaho. And that is your 37th state of the union.
Nice Price is Right drop there, Mark.
Well,
I
there's,
mean, it's got to be right.
Yeah.
So we've got the top and we've got the bottom.
Wow.
Let's get that creamy center, kid.
Ooh, boy.
we were only missing 8 now.
You're down
Yeah.
to 8.
My God,
Oh, wow.
it's so awful.
Who's next?
Mark is up, right?
Mark is up.
I'm gonna go with Delaware.
Delaware is on the board at 32.
Nice.
One player.
Nice.
One player, the Wilmington Destroyer, Mark Eaton.
Wilmington.
Stanley Cup champion, Mark Eaton, 85 points
God.
in 650
Wow.
National Hockey League games. Johnny.
I'm I'm gonna go with Georgia.
33 on the
Oh,
board.
Yes.
The Georgians consider of Mark Mowers, Eric Chouinard, and Jean-Marc Peltier.
Wow.
Fine Georgian names.
He's
Yeah.
a great Peltier.
Yeah,
Eric Chouinard, yeah, because his
Right.
dad was born there when they
Yep.
played for the Atlanta Flames.
that's right.
Yep,
Yep.
great.
Lyle.
Florida.
Florida is 24th. I'm sorry. You just
Oh.
barely.
See, I was gonna go with Florida, and last
Damn it.
second I switched it up.
Here's the
little bit.
thing. Here's the guys who have played from Florida, and this includes Quentin Hughes of the Canucks, so that will change. Shane Gottsdasper,
The ghost
Dan
there.
Highnote, Jacob Chikrin,
Wow.
Garnet Hathaway, Ryan Carpenter, Jason Megna, Blake Jeffrion, Dallas Eakins, Jacob Megna, Quentin Hughes, Brian Ferlin, and Val Venus. Sorry, Val James. Val
Hello,
James.
ladies.
So Lyle just missing on that one.
Oh man,
The
all around him.
Aaron would like to go with Oregon.
Number 28 on the board in Oregon.
Oregon.
Oregon Trail sports such NHLers as Yuri Gillies, Scott Levens, Ian Kidd, Jordan LeVay Sutherman, Derek Gustafson, and Grant Sasser.
Okay. AJ would like to bring out Nebraska.
On the board.
Cornhuskers.
Yep, 35 on our board, including Jed Ortmeyer and Johnny Maz who was born in 1891.
Ooh. How many are we looking for still?
I think we're down to 6, maybe 5 or 6.
All right. I'm gonna go with.
Is it Mark's turn? Did Mark pick already?
Yeah, that's right. It's Mark's turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna throw mine away probably. I'm going with Louisiana.
Did not play a game. I'm sorry.
I wasn't sure if there was some sort of water boy type player that might have gotten one goal and then
Well, I'm gonna take out
Won
the
the
other half
championship.
of that then and go with Mississippi.
Sorry. No Mississippi.
All right. Well, that's fine.
Lyle.
Wyoming.
No player from Wyoming. I'm sorry.
Why?
Oh, God. I
Tony?
hate this game.
All right, Mark, you're up.
I just hate it because I haven't gotten one yet. That's all.
North Dakota.
They are 25th. They are
Oh,
only 52 points above Maryland.
wow.
Johnny.
Wait, was it? I thought Oshie was North Dakota. no?
Oshie is Washington State.
Oh,
hmm No, he went to North Dakota.
He went.
Well,
Yeah, he went
I
to school in
just
North Dakota.
assumed
No, this game's
He's from
completely
North-
different if we chose colleges.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found out what I'm doing next week.
where's
Oh,
the Bemidji State?
no.
Bemidji State's in Minnesota.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Ohio.
Sorry, Ohio 8th.
What?
Wow.
Ohio top 10.
How did that
Wow.
occur?
Wow.
3,000.
How did all this happen before the
Yeah,
team showed
I'm
up?
guessing
30
somebody like Mike Madonna or somebody.
Brian Smolinski, Dave
Uh,
Ellett, Kurt Frazier, Mo Mantha, JT Miller,
Oh,
Interesting.
Ab DeMarco,
Okay.
quite a few.
Sean Curley. Whoop, 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 whoop. So Pat Jablonski with 4 assists, everybody.
Hey, Jabber.
So, yep, Ohio in the top 10.
Haywood Jablonski.
Hey, what Jablonski? Lyle?
Kansas.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
No, it's not.
Nope, it is not on here, so they did not play a game.
Oh,
Lyle pick it all around.
All right.
Oh, God.
Brian would like to go with Virginia.
Virginia 22nd.
Okay.
22nd on the board, including
AA
play-
Ron is going to bring up a Tennessee.
to Tennessee. Tennessee does not have anybody listed here playing
Interesting.
because usually they claim Blake Jeffrion, but he was raised there, was not born there.
Mm.
By the way, I will say that Virginia had Eric Weinrich and
Oh.
Scott LaChance.
That would do
so that'll do it. To Mark.
I'm gonna go with Missouri.
Sorry, they are 10th.
Wow.
What?
10th
Who?
overall for
Brett
Missouri.
Hull must be from Missouri or something.
No, Pat LaFontaine.
Oh, there you
There
go.
you go.
Pat LaFontaine, Paul Ranheim, Patrick Maroon, Landon Wilson, Clayton Keller, and then there Brady Kachuk also in Missouri. Johnny,
I'm gonna go with South Carolina.
come on and raise up. Take your shirt. Wait, yep, that's on the board. One player from South Carolina,
Yes.
and that is Ryan Hartman with 89 points. He doesn't know he's traded yet.
Doesn't know he's in.
Oh. Oh yeah, back on there. Woo!
Lyle.
West Virginia.
Oh, Mountain Mama didn't play a game. Sorry.
The board would like to bring up AJ, South Dakota, but wasn't that already said?
I
South
said
think it
North.
Dakota was
was.
said. South Dakota was not said. South Dakota not on the board.
Oh,
Okay.
there you go.
And Aaron has Iowa.
Iowa 36th on the board. They have had 3 players in the NHL. CJ Smith,
I'll be
Scott Clemenson, and Cal Pedersen. 6 points total. 3 assists from Scott Clemenson.
Clemenson.
So there you go. Mark.
Vermont.
Vermont's 18th.
Wow.
They've only had 2 players come from Vermont.
I like how we've stayed out of like whole regions.
John LeClaire is the only player to score any points of those 2 players because
Jeez.
Wow.
because
And he's
Grant-
18th.
yeah, and Graham Mink is the other one. He played 7 games, no points. John
Wow.
LeClaire, 819 points, leading Vermont.
Brian has just stated we have too many states.
Not wrong, Brian. Not wrong. Johnny.
I'm gonna go with North Dakota. I'm sorry, North Carolina.
Come on and raise up. Take your shirt off. Twist around your head. Swing like a helicopter. They are on the board at 30.
Wow, I took both
Johnny's
Carolinas.
just crushing this one, man.
Jarrett Bull, Ben Smith, and Logan Brown. To Lyle.
Nevada.
Nevada. I'm sorry. They have not played it.
Oh,
Lyle's just not even getting on the board. Like he's not even. It's not even like he's missing them. Like he's picking higher states. He's just not there at all.
I hate you, Scotty. I hate you so very, very much.
Lyle's gonna pick number 1 just for shits and giggles.
Right?
Oh fuck yeah! I'm done. I'm done caring
Uh,
now.
Canada.
So what are we thinking? Last call.
yeah.
Last call.
Last
Already
call.
said Aaron. Sorry.
Mark. Last call.
I'm gonna go with Tejas.
Tejas as 12th.
What?
On the,
Texas
they are
with the
12th
dollar sign.
all time on the board. Let's see who's played there. Brian Leach. So Brian Leach, Tyler Myers, Seth Jones. It's a defense-heavy offense there.
Oh yeah.
Brian
I'd
Leach
say.
alone,
Just like
1,000
the Alamo.
points. Yeah, don't forget it. Johnny, your last pick.
My last pick is going to be.
I think we only have 2 left.
I'm gonna go Washington State.
Sorry, 16th.
We just said TJ Oshie played.
TJ Oshie plays there.
That's fine.
Now,
Aaron just put in Washington State also. He goes, I just want to hear Oshie and Tyler Johnson stats.
There you go. Get to those in a minute after Lyle picks
Arkansas.
this. Sorry, I have not played a game.
Lyle
Oshie,
just gets to keep naming teams until
Yeah.
states until he gets them.
Alaska.
Nope.
No, I don't give a shit.
Alaska's
Whatever.
13th.
Oh, I know.
Actually, I don't give a
Gomez
shit. It's one
alone,
of the mid-eastern states,
So,
right? One of the middle states.
TJ Oshie, 518 points. Tyler Johnson, 308 points.
All right.
The 2 you're missing, Alabama.
Oh,
Alabama, man!
wow.
Alabama sports such players as Nick Dowd,
Interesting. I thought they
Oddly-
just had a run game.
Jarrett Ross, and Oddly Tootin. Thank you. That was a good one. I like that one.
Thanks.
And the last state you have missed,
The last state.
Maine.
Yeah,
Maine.
irony. When I said Vermont, I was gonna go with Maine. But
I
thought
meant
that was-
Maine. It was the thing up there. You had the blocks.
The irony of Maine.
Brian Dumoulin. leads the way. The bottom
Maine's
10,
the
not,
closest state to Lyle.
Yeah.
so the finalize at Oklahoma, Oregon, Maine, North Carolina, South Carolina, Delaware, Georgia, Alabama, Nebraska, Iowa, and Idaho.
That's
Before-
actually pretty funny because AJ dropped in a main right before
Oh,
Ah, just missed.
I missed it. Oh,
Top-
well.
before
Sorry,
we get off the
AJ.
topic, are we
Yeah.
gonna hear the top 10?
top 10. Here we go.
Mm,
Minnesota,
of course.
277 players accounting for 26,000 points.
Wow.
Massachusetts,
Huh.
Michigan,
Okay.
New York, Illinois,
Hmm.
Wisconsin, Connecticut,
Mm-hmm.
Ohio, New Jersey,
Mm-hmm.
and Missouri.
Wow.
Mm.
I wouldn't have expected Missouri.
Yeah.
top 10.
Pennsylvania, Texas, Alaska, California, Indiana round out the top 15.
Yeah, I thought Cali would have been higher, honestly.
Mhm.
Agreed.
I'm sure in a few years there
But
will
they
be.
probably play soccer or like some other sport that they can play outside all year long instead of hockey.
It's true. Jason Zucker is the all-time leadingest Californian until Austin Matthews stops being injured a lot and overtakes him. He's only 9 points behind him. So
AJ said that Illinois being higher than Wisconsin surprises him.
yeah, Illinois actually has turned out 69 players in the NHL. Wisconsin only 38. Yeah, that's nice. You're right. Illinois sports Chris Chelios, who alone played for 45 years.
It's true.
Um,
That's true. Actually, thinking about it now, I should have gone with Chris Chelios as the first person who was ever bought out, because I mean his original contract was written in stone. So
Yeah.
nice.
Wait, hold on. Illinois just bumped up to number 7 on the board. Chris Chelios just scored a goal. I know it's the
Yeah, how about
offseason and
that?
all, but he
Amazing.
finds a way.
Yeah, Illinois has some players. Chris Chelios, Eddie Olczyk, Tony Granato, Bates Battaglia, and then kind of falls off. You're right after Chelios. Yeah, Cali. There you go.
interesting.
Vermont. Yeah, Vermont's the lone one because Vermont has 2 players. It's just basically John LeClaire.
That was
John
it. That was
LeClaire, and then-
good. That was a good one.
So next week, thanks to
Even
thanks
though
to everybody.
Lyle didn't get any, but he caught my bug from last week.
Yeah, it,
exactly.
it happens. It happens.
Russian provinces or whatever they're called.
Next,
Russian states that now
Yeah.
have that
Yeah.
are now countries and their highest scores. Go.
Go.
Uzbekistan.
by the way, there was a kid from Uzbekistan picked this year. So there's also a kid from England picked, but he's actually was born and raised in Regina.
Bradley Genion.
No, sadly
Oh.
it wasn't. None of our boys got picked.
Oh,
My
darn.
boy. All right, Lyle. Well, this is fun. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
I know you did.
Lyle, get some sleep this weekend.
Yes.
I will
You have
try.
a big July 1st. I'm sure it's huge. Huge July 1st.
Yeah, huge. It'll be huge. The
All right,
best
well-
July.
Enjoy all the offer sheets that happened this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I hope there is one. It'll definitely liven things up.
hell yeah.
Mhm.
Well, all the best, sir. Enjoy your Canada today, and we'll talk to you next week.
Talk to you next week, guys. Take care.
There he goes.
See you, Lyle.
Rich at SpectresHockey.net, at Spectres Hockey, where you can find all the stuff there, and we will figure out a game. I thought we already figured out a game. August 7th.
August 7th.
August
So
7th. It's
the day
August 7th because
before?
it's the day before our 18th birthday.
Okay, so the people that want to be part of the show on August 7th need to email us.
August 7th, faceoffhockeyshow@gmail.com for game show.
Because we could get David back on. We could get
Get
AJ,
get
Aaron, Chris,
Aaron, Chris,
Brian, if he's around.
Brian if he wants in,
If
Eddie.
9. We can only have 10 people, I think. on
Well,
the
who
show.
knows with this YouTube camera shit?
Well, shit. That would be our luck. Let's be dead honest. Our luck would be that like, August 1st, it would be like, guess what? Hangouts is gone.
Hangouts is dead.
There's literally zero way that I can figure out how to add additional people onto this webcam thing on YouTube. Jerks. You have
Man.
something that works perfectly fine. How about we get rid of that?
Amazing. I love it. All right. Superb. All right, Johnny B, shout outs.
I give a shout out to Mark and Hudson and Brittany. Good luck moving.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck with the new house. Hopefully Hudson enjoys the yard. I give a shout out to the Death's new house. I got to sleep on the couch. It was beautiful. It was fantastic. They got a new couch as well. Shout out to Death's couch. Thank you, Brian. Brian says, "Great show, boys."
It's better than the rooftop of death that they're building.
rooftop deck. What was it?
Rooftop of death.
Of death is being built shortly, from what I've heard. So at some point, maybe I'll sleep on the rooftop deck of death.
Nice.
Who knows? Yeah, I think outside of that, I'm probably good. I'll give a shout out to Scotty as well for making the trek to Vancouver, putting in the FaceTime, seeing all the friends. And maybe Sean Leahy. Maybe I'll be able to catch a soccer game with Sean Leahy this summer. Who knows? He's a very busy man. Extremely
very busy man. Very upset with you not coming to Vancouver.
I didn't get any texts. I was expecting drunken texts at like 3 a.m. here. Got nothing. Nothing from
That's
Sean
not a good
Leahy.
sign. That means he's really mad at you.
That means he's mad. Either that or Mark got all of them.
Yeah. Sorry, I blocked his number. It's cool. JK, buddy. JK.
JK, LOL.
You
JK, I
could be
never
right behind me. I'd never know.
That's true. It's perfect Sean Leahy camouflage. Anything else, John?
Nope.
All right, Mark.
Well, next week, I will either be in a new studio or in a hotel. Likely in a new studio.
Okay.
But you
I like
wouldn't
those
know the
odds.
difference because, either way, it'll be a new place. So, yeah, it's gonna get a little wild and crazy.
Kids?
Yeah, well, just one. really.
Oh.
So
Is Omar Gooding going to show up?
I hope so. We could use
That'd
it.
be great. I would love it. If he shows up, send us a Snapchat.
Okay. If he made it some sort of game that all the children each carried out one piece of what needed to be moved. You know what? I kind of forget how that show went. now
Me
that you
too.
bring it up.
Honestly,
Was
I
it
forgot.
a game show or did they just like throw water balloons at children and film it?
I think it was like American Gladiators meets Guts. But it was terrible.
Yeah. Oh no, it was great.
It was basically Jackass for kids.
I'm gonna try and find some on YouTube. I think that's it. That's my
There's
shout out.
Wild and Crazy Kids on YouTube. Nice. Shout out to Vancouver. Shout out to the UBC campus. Lovely campus. If you have the chance to go, I highly recommend it.
Wild and Crazy Kids.
Shout out to UND for paying me to do work. So thumbs up on that. Go check that out. Fightinghawks.com. My stuff's up there. Hooray, hooray. Shout out to Sean Leahy, Cassie, Niles, and all the crew there. Fun times. No, there's no piano bar, but hey, what can you do? Sometimes you gotta go without the piano bar. That's it. That's all I've got here. It's summertime and living's easy. So enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your free agency. Enjoy your Canada Day too. That's it. That's all. For Johnny P. Mark with the C. I'm Scotty Waz. Take care of yourself and someone else. It's been Face Off Hockey Show on faceoffhockeyshow.com. Part of some kind of network that we don't really know because we're in limbo. Facebook.com/FOHS Radio, Twitter.com/FOHS Radio, and Patreon.com/FaceOffHockeyShow if you want to support us and more. That's it. Till next week. Peace.
Now I can't get you off, come on, switch it up. Low rider style, ladies, switch it up. Low rider style, ladies, switch it up. Low rider style, ladies, switch it up. Low rider style, well, it's